Hello, welcome Aquarius. Thank you for watching, liking, sharing and subscribing. I hope you enjoy the insights here. This is a general reading. Please take what works for you. It may also apply to someone you are close to at this time. If you have strong influences in your birth chart associated with another sign, please feel free to cross-watch to my other videos for further insights. I have shuffled and laid out the cards. I use the 12 houses of the zodiac. And as the cards appear in each house, then that is the influence that is coming through at this time for you. So in the first house, we have Saturn return age. So the first house is everything to do with the self, your appearance, your observable characteristics, your personality, how you appear to others, your physical body, your physical regime, what you're going through, your working out and sort of how you're making your way through your day. It's also self-oriented interests and just basically what you are projecting outwardly to others that you meet. So if it's your mask that you're presenting to others. So with Saturn return there, you're actually, Saturn return is about wisdom. It's about gaining wisdom through experience, because a return implies that it's coming back. And Saturn does it has two major turns in your life, around about 29, and then the next one is a bit later, another 29 years further on after that. So sort of middle to late 50s is what you're looking at. But basically what it implies here is that it's wisdom coming back, wisdom that you've gained through experience. So some of you, if you are older, you may be feeling your wisdom, the weight of your wisdom, or you may just be feeling your age. But it's all about harnessing that wisdom and putting it into action. So it's also about being responsible and facing what needs to be done. It's kind of a paring back and taking stock. It's about changing what you have outgrown. So you need to be realistic and release what just isn't working for you anymore. And that can be in a variety of ways, all to do with the self, your physical body and yourself, and how you are moving through the world and what you're projecting to others. You need to face your truth as well, dig deep, have a good, spend time in contemplation, actually figuring out what it is, who you are, and what you've gained over your life. You need to leave the past behind. As I said, what's not working for you, you can't keep dragging around, so let it go. But Saturn also is about working towards solid achievement. So you may be just bringing that wisdom in now, that wisdom, and turning it into action to actually get you that solid achievement. Because if you work with Saturn, if you work with the taskmaster, then eventually you will see the achievements and you will see the rewards. And the achievement will be based on solid ground. You don't want to be aiming for something that just isn't right to begin with. It's all about putting systems in place, being methodical, and having a good and strong foundation. You need to look after yourself, your health as well, because Saturn rules all the ligaments of the body, the bones, your skeletal structure, and your teeth. And you need to build endurance and fortitude as well with this. So harness your resources, contemplate what you can cut away and what you can do without, and then move forward slow and steady and build yourself up so that you can face the future and build something that you can actually that can actually support you going forward. So this could even be a physical regime you want to bring in, or it could just be the way you are projecting yourself amongst others. You may be coming across as quite serious at the moment amongst the people that you meet. And this is the Saturnian influence coming in, because it is serious. It is about contemplation and cutting away what doesn't serve you anymore. Then we have in the second house, we have Mercury retrograde, which is reinvention. So during a Mercury retrograde phase, anything with a re in front of it applies. So this can be a revisit, a revision, rearrange, reduce, or redo. It's anything like that. So it's basically going over something again to pick up areas that perhaps would never have worked or won't work, picking up mistakes, picking up errors, checking details again, because ultimately if you do that, you will eventually get a much better product or a much better result. So now this is your second house, which is all to do with your money and your income. It's to do with what you own, what you possess, your possessions, and it's also your self-worth and your values, your value systems. It's property as well, real estate, land, that sort of thing. So this is with this card appearing in this house, it's best to postpone making purchases and big decisions about your money coming in. Best to postpone that. Also signing documents or contracts, just avoid for the moment until this period has passed. Normally, in a regular chart, Mercury goes retrograde about 3 times a year, more or less, for about 3 weeks. But as it's appearing here, anywhere between 1 week and 3 weeks, you may be feeling this. So just feel your way along until you feel the energy shift, and then you'll get the go-ahead. But just at the moment, rather just stay as you are, but also go over your plans. Again, there may be delays as well. It's about double-checking facts, checking your emails, all forms of communication, because things can go awry. There can be misunderstandings. Emails just don't get sent, or they don't get received, or what you say gets misunderstood. It's a good time to review plans because it will be better afterwards, but you need to go through that sifting and sorting and clearing out and making it better and picking up errors as well, mistakes. Don't get off track though. You've got to plod along and you've got to tackle it. This also, if you're using electronics and computers and also your vehicles to do with the second house activities, then you may experience some sort of repair, or the electronics and the computers just don't work, or you may also need to back up documents as well, because sometimes things just go on the blink, and then you lose documents, or things just don't get sent, or they don't get stored, and so on. So it's all about that. If you're writing or involved in writing things, or you're making plans and budgets and so on for your money, you may be required to do some kind of recount or rewrite with that. This also comes in later on for your 8th house, which again is bringing up the fact that you're not to take action, or don't take action just at the moment with your big finances. So this is the two work together. This is your personal income and money, and this the 8th house is all about big money, your bigger investments and things like that. So the two are indicating that it's just time to wait and to go over your plans, review before you move forward with anything major. Then in the 3rd house, we have Pisces, I believe. So your 3rd house is everything to do with your communication, whether this is written or verbal or your body language. It also governs documents and contracts. So now with Pisces, I believe there's dual meanings to this, because Pisces is dual. But the most uplifting aspects of Pisces are it's all about service, about sensitivity and compassion. So what you say is going to matter. Your words are going to matter. And this could affect your siblings and your aunts, uncles, cousins. Those are the kind of family members that fall under the 3rd house. It could also be the wider public. So it's also about having a bit of faith and sort of avoiding pessimism and also cynicism, because that can be the flop side of the positive aspects of Pisces. So it could also be that you may need to be putting boundaries in with others, with regards to how you communicate, or just how you communicate with others. You don't want to be sort of manipulated by others. Keep your speech positive. This card also brings in the arts as well. So whether this is creative writing or artistic endeavors, anything like that. So, but it's your communication and it's your expression. So therefore, if you're expressing yourself with art or with written works and so on, you have the ability to now access much higher levels of consciousness with Pisces in there. It's imaginative, it's creative, there's fantasy there. There's also, reaching higher levels. There's also access to psychic abilities. So that's like clear sentience, clear audience, all of those. But it's really about your communication, your interactions with others, what you say and what you hear as well. So you'll have greater access to spirituality and creativity. This house also rules short trips. This is local trips. So trips to water, any body of water, will be very beneficial for you at this time. Then in the fourth house, we have Grand Cross Provoker. So this is a card which is going to bring, what's indicating that you're going to be experiencing in your home life. This is your home, your actual home, your home life. And it's also to do with your ethnic identity, your roots and your foundation. You're going to be experiencing a bit of tension at this time. So it's like frustration and feeling restricted in some way, shape or form. So it could be to do with your actual physical home. Perhaps you're requiring to make a move now, or you want to make a move and you just can't at the moment, or things are difficult, or there are obstacles coming up for you. So the main thing with this is to persevere, not to give up. Just keep going through those difficulties. Just handle them one step at a time. Work your way through each one. You may just feel a bit of exasperation sometimes, like you no sooner get through one and then another thing appears. It's also, you may just feel a bit like you're being pulled in different directions as well. So it's sort of four angles multiplied, and they're all sort of putting you under a bit of pressure. It's pressure to grow, which is a catalyst for movement and change. So you may actually be wanting to make a change or be in the process of making a change, and you've just got a lot to deal with. You could be suffering from a bit of overwhelm. But stick with the process and see it through to victory. Focus on your priorities and get organized and realistic. Also, your communication is going to be important as well. Then in the fifth house, you have Jupiter, which is abundance. So your fifth house is to do with your children, if you have children or you're working or you're exposed to children. It's also your creativity, your creative abilities. And that can take many forms. It's not necessarily artistic. Artistic and creative are different things. Creativity, you can be a creative thinker, a creative writer, or you could be a creative in the way you arrange your home, or creative in the way you create your children's parties, or your finances even. You can be creative in many, many ways. You can be a creative speaker. So creativity is a huge aspect of ourselves, and we can all access it. It just may not look like somebody else's creativity. It's going to be unique to you. So the fifth house covers children, creativity. It also covers love affairs, and it covers recreational activities of all kinds. So having fun, going, all kinds of sort of whether it's outdoor, indoor activities, games. It's also sports, that kind of thing. So with Jupiter abundance coming in, this is a lovely card to be having in this house because it brings rewards and benefits. It's also luck, abundance and prosperity within those aspects of the fifth house. So you could be seeing this in your children, or you could be experiencing it yourself, and then you are able to pass on those good feelings and happiness onto your children through generosity and joy and happiness and things like that. So you could be just really enjoying a very loving and abundant relationship with your children, or with your love affair. Not necessarily money. Abundance can be many things. Can be just feeling happy, feeling content, or just feeling grateful for all that you have, and grateful for your interactions with your children. There's all of those coming in. It could also be that you're overcoming obstacles in this arena. So that's children, creativity, or love affairs, or having fun, or just enjoying various types of sports and games. You could be really winning and be very lucky. You could be really having success and reward for effort when it comes to your creative projects. So you could also be receiving divine help in those areas. It's important to stay positive and keep your hand on the wheel, though. So accept the abundance, be grateful, and spread it around as well. And just be content with what you're receiving, but don't slip off and sort of lose sight of what it is you still need to do and what you still need to work on. So it's also about keep going, don't give up, because there are benefits coming in. It's also about restoring faith as well. It's about enjoying freedom as well. So there could be freedom from routine. Maybe you're enjoying nice fun activities, or you enjoying gaming and sort of sports, and really getting out and about and actually feeling rewarded, or finding the activities rewarding. It's also about you may, if it's to do with a love affair, you may come into contact with a Jupiter type person. So this could be somebody who's quite social, they're generous, they outgoing, they enjoy freedom, and they enjoy fun. So it's that kind of thing. They could also be have religious interests and deeper philosophical interests. They could also be studying, because Jupiter rules all of those. It could be somebody who enjoys teaching. There's various ways that this can come in, but or you could just be enjoying an abundant relationship with this person, which is generous and loving and social. Then in the 6th house, we have another very supportive card. This is part of fortune. This is about increase. So it is exactly what it says there. But the deeper aspect of this card is that it's about your particular talents and abilities, which perhaps have been unacknowledged or just haven't been present in you. And this, if you're into past lives, it could be stuff you're bringing in from a past life. Suddenly those talents and abilities are being activated, or it could just be something that you've sort of known about, but you've never really focused on, or you've never had the need to focus on it. Or it could just be something that rises up out of the blue. So it's coming to the surface, really. That's what it is. So now this is coming up in your 6th house, which is everything to do with work, your work projects, mastery of your craft. It's also about your workplace, your work colleagues, and it's also about your health and diet and pets. So you could be getting more pets, but also with your health and diet, you can expect to be having good health at this time and finding balance. It's about finding balance and moving forward to reach your goals. Obstacles are being removed, things like that. So if it's to do with your work side, it's a very beneficial influence to be having. So you can expect to be having increase. Perhaps it's an increase of work. But there's also sort of a destiny or fate aspect of this as well. So you could be in the right place at the right time to pick up work or a project of some sort. It's good luck. It's also respect for what you do. So with those rising up of those talents and abilities which are now coming to the fore, you're going to be recognized or respected for that, or people are going to notice that. And with that comes rewards of various kinds. So whether that's monetary or more work, or just recognition for the type of work that you're doing. So it's very beneficial. You could also be receiving gifts of some kind. It also indicates success from what you're doing. You may also have to learn new aspects. So with the coming in of these other abilities and talents, you may need to learn something else to harness more of those talents and abilities, or to hone it further. So it's about learning as well, study. You may want to do an art course or some kind of creative course as well. So that's all indicated. Public relations are also indicated. You may be called upon to do that and suddenly find that you're actually quite good at it. Yeah, so it covers all of those aspects. Very positive card. Then in the 7th house, we have Yod, which is destiny. So now this, I would say, is your home and your relationship house are, and to some degree your monetary houses are perhaps a focus for you at this time. So you will be receiving abundance from a work point of view and from a career point of view and networking and so on. But these two areas are requiring some effort now. So 7th house is all your personal relationships, your one-on-one personal relationships. So this is with your significant other and also your business partner or partners. But they it's a one-on-one. It's not a wide masses of people. This is one-on-one close relationships. So with your destiny in there, this is bringing in a little bit of difficulty, something that you're going to have to deal with, some tension. Again, it's another destiny card. It's a fate card. So something may come up for you which just feels fated somehow, or like it's really that you've just got to surrender and go with it. So you may just also be feeling a bit out of step with the others that you're dealing with. You may just be feeling a little bit like you're not connecting with them 100%. You're kind of off in your own direction. And you may just feel a little bit alone, actually. So, but it's also about finding your own truth and setting your own course. So you've got to dig deep. You've got to do a little bit of soul searching, figure out what your truth is, and understand it, because it just may be a different perspective to what your other partners or your other close relationships are expecting from you, or how you may just be coming across. And again, this comes back to the 1st house, which was Saturn return age. This deals with how you are coming across to others. So you may be coming across as a little bit serious and really getting real about how you want to be in the world, and making all of those sort of adaptations which I mentioned in the 1st house. And now this is directly going to affect your one-on-one relationships. They're going to feel it and they're going to see it. So whether you're cutting back or you're rearranging things, there is work required there. You just may not also feel supported right now, but the reason for that is to force you to persevere, to pull out your own truth and to set your own course. You also, but having said that, having pulled out your truth and deciding, right, this is who I am, if you're in a significant relationship, then it will require you to compromise and adapt within that relationship. So there's almost like a sort of a balancing act going on there between how you are appearing and how you're coming across in that and your significant relationships. You just got to keep going, as things will improve, and you will achieve your goal, whatever that is in your relationships. But it's also about making a difference. So do your best to uplift the ideals of your partnership, of your relationship, but also dig deep for your own truth as well, and just spend time in contemplation to understand that better. Then in your 8th house, this is your other money house. This is the big money house. This is things like insurance, investments, legacies, inheritance, if that applies for you. It's also about banking, accounting, tax, all of those things. And it's also about the material and emotional resources shared between committed partners. So this can be your love partner or it can be your business partner. But it's also about sexuality. The 8th house is about sexuality. It's about power. And it's also about old to new. So the death of something and the rising up of something else out of that. So doors closing, new ones opening, that kind of thing. Now, with void, of course, moon missing appearing in this house, you may just feel that things are just not clear, that things are just not what they seem. Things are not what they seem. And this will be over not a too long a period. It might be a week or a little bit longer, but it's just a period where no action is required from you. It's best not to take action. So avoid big decisions until these energies have passed. So don't embark on anything new. It may not go as planned, and in fact, it probably won't. And it's quite likely that it won't yield good results for you. So just wait, stay still for now, just rest and wait for matters to settle or resolve themselves. And then once you feel that the energies are starting to shift again, then you can move forward on other areas that you may be wanting to move on. You just don't want to expend masses of energy on something and it becomes a wasted effort. So just bear that in mind in all of those areas to do with the eighth house. So it's a case of just being still, taking no action, just continue as you are for now until you feel a shift in the energies. Then in the ninth house we have the air element, which is communicating. This is everything to do with communication. So in the ninth house, your ninth house is everything to do with travel. It's also to do with adventure and exploration. It's also about higher learning. So this is university education or adult education or courses that you'd like to study. It's not schooling. This is beyond that. This house also covers religion, philosophy, belief systems, and publishing. The law is covered by this house. And it can also be exposure to foreign countries or cultures or people from other countries and cultures. It's also about teaching. This house rules teaching. So with the air element in there, obviously communication is front and center. So, but it's also thinking, because it's a mental aspect. So whatever it needs you need to do, you just need to think things through. And the air element is not an emotional aspect, so avoid making emotional decisions. You need to be sort of rational, logical, and objective with the air element. A new path may come up for you, but you need to in all cases you need to clarify your words. You need to put things down in written form to clarify your thoughts or your desires or what you want and need. So whether this is some sort of written, like something that you putting your thoughts down and something you want to publish, it's got that aspect to it, or could even be public relations of some sort. It's also about bringing thoughts and ideas down and manifesting them in whatever form that is governed by the ninth house. All written, verbal, and any kind of publishing is governed by this. So you may also be having to use technology in some way, shape, or form, or you're going to have to upgrade your tech skills in some way. So this can apply in many ways. You could just have a regular cell phone and now you're going to a smartphone, or perhaps you've had sort of an older computer and now you want to go onto the latest laptop. It's that kind of jump, or it could be much more futuristic than that. But whatever it is, it's a technology upgrade of some sort, something that you're using within those the ninth house aspects. It certainly indicates international travel, most certainly, and air travel at that. So you could be embarking on a long distance trip of some kind, and it could be educational. And you could be visiting sort of mountainous areas even, or just enjoying a variety of different types of air travel. But the ninth house always rules long distance international travel, and there's an adventure element there's exploration as well. So whether that's exploration of learning facilities, Perhaps you want to study something and you need to go and sort of investigate that a bit more. It's all about that as well. Or you may be teaching about these things, or you may be teaching about foreign cultures and foreign aspects. There's all of that coming in as well. Then in the 10th house, another very, very supportive card. 10th house is all about career, your ambitions, your public status, and it's also your reputation and your fame. So with Jupiter return, it indicates coming back to you from the past. So Jupiter return is normally every 12 years or so. And it can bring incredible benefits from small scale to large scale. But it really is a very beneficial, supportive card to be having in this house. So something old comes back, which with benefits, or it could be something that some seeds that you planted way back, some effort that you put in way back, and it's now going to, it's coming to fruition for you. It's coming back with a bang, really. So benefits are coming from the past, some endeavor or something that you undertook to do some time ago, and suddenly out of the blue it rises to the surface, or it comes back at you. Jupiter is fairly fast moving, so whatever opportunity comes to you, grab it quick and explore all the possibilities immediately, because otherwise if you don't harness it, if you become complacent, or you just think, oh well, I'll do it next week because things are so good at the moment, can't do that. You must grab it with both hands and explore and go for it, whatever it might be. Just follow it, follow where it's leading you, and see what comes out of it. But it's also a green light for you, some kind of earned luck. So it's luck from what you have, something that you've done, some work or effort, or something that it's a reward for effort, really. That's what it is. But it's lucky. It's got that lucky aspect. Doors opening, overcoming obstacles. Your goals will become, you'll be able to advance your goals, whatever those may be. It's also dreams may be coming through for you. Some dream that you've had. Again, it might have been a dream from a while back, and now suddenly something's come of it. You may be receiving a gift. You could also be coming into contact with a sort of a mentor or an authority figure who is generous, who is thoughtful, but also social and outgoing, and is basically got a really nice qualities, fun-loving person, but also has got deep interests in perhaps philosophy and religion and so on. Just somebody who is inspirational and a good teacher. So those are all the aspects. With the only other thing with Jupiter return, coming back with Jupiter really in general, is don't get carried away. Don't allow yourself to be swept away and lose sight of what it is that you're actually supposed to be doing, what the reason the benefit came to you to begin with. Also, it can bring about overconfidence. So just bear that in mind at this time there. Then in the 11th house, we have Mars, which is force. So the 11th house is everything to do with your friendships, and it's to do with your networks, the groups that you're part of, your associations and societies, clubs, that sort of thing. It's also your own personal hopes and dreams, your ideals, and your hobbies and interests. So action is required. So this could be linked to a creative project that you've been working on, or a work project that you've been busy with. This is about taking action, but it's very strong action. You may have to protect your interests in some way. There could be competition within those aspects I've mentioned. So that's within your friendships, or even within your groups and your associations, or that sort of thing. Or you may be having to compete when it comes to a hobby or an interest of yours, something to do with that. But also you may just have to, because of Jupiter return bringing benefits to your career, you may be meeting new people, or people, sort of influential types of people, and you may want to harness them as part of your network, or join a group which is is beneficial for you. So you need to take action on that. You need to be bold, but you need to move quickly on something. So this is coming up again, move quickly on something. But it's also about being passionate and energetic. It brings in excitement, but as I said, also the flip side of that could be competition. There could be a bully in your midst, or somebody that you have to have a little bit of a battle with. So whether that's a friendship is taking on this aspect, or whether it's a group or a society, or people within those groups and societies that you're having to deal with, but it's you either need to take action on those activities, or you could be sort of coming up against somebody in one of those arenas for you. But it's an action-oriented card. I feel it is to do with harnessing influential people in your networks, or joining certain groups which are going to help you. But it's a take action, be bold card. But there may be other aspects to it as well, where you need to protect your interests, or just to put your best foot forward. Then in the 12th house, you have Sagittarius, I see. So the 12th house is everything to do with your spiritual life, your unconscious beliefs, mysticism, healing, meditation, solitude, with sort of retreats, that kind of thing. And it's also about the other side of it is escapism, and dealing with addictions of all kinds, and also karmic inheritance. So that's a 12th house. But I feel with Sagittarius, I see coming in there, it's almost like you need to be honest, and you need to speak your truth, because that's what Sagittarius is all about. They say what they think. But this is about deeper unconscious programming as well, and unconscious beliefs, or your current beliefs. So you may just need to be a little bit more broad-minded. Aquarians generally are, but you may just be seeing aspects in others, or new kinds of beliefs, or new kinds of ways of being. And you just need to open yourself up to that a little bit, explore, go on a little bit of adventure. Perhaps a retreat would be optimal, where you are amongst others who are interesting, it's about they have different philosophies to you, or something that you can learn from, because this is about study as well. Study is implicated with this, or some kind of learning. So you need to explore deeper beliefs, other beliefs, or perhaps just explore your own and study further, and just understand yourself a little bit better as well. But it's almost like gaining insight. That is what it is. Using your intuition and gaining insight on certain things within yourself, and then seeing it reflected in others possibly as well. It's also about possibly avoiding routine. Sagittarians don't like routine. They get restless with that. So perhaps just give yourself a little bit more freedom and a bit more time to try new things, and just lift yourself up a little bit and give yourself a little bit of a break. It could also be with the 12th house. Also, there is a connection of being sort of your experiences within certain types of institutions. So that could be university. So study is coming up again. It came up a couple of times earlier as well. So possibly you're wanting to enroll at an institution, or you are busy in a library, which is also an institution, and it's what you're learning there and what you're understanding there. It could also be a government institution, or a hospital, or a prison even. But it's any kind of institution, and it could even be banking. But it's about your experiences there. So you're gaining insight and understanding, and just be open-minded, and don't allow things to get you down. And if you need time out just to relax and get away, then enjoy a retreat or some kind of seclusion, or sort of deeper spiritual life, which gives you a bit more freedom, and where you can be with others who are who are sort of more open-minded and have different aspects which you can learn from. So just to give yourself a bit of something else to think about, something else to explore. Yeah, the 12th house covers all of those different aspects, but I feel it is about gaining insight. Okay, Aquarius, thank you for joining me. Hope you have a great month and take care, and I will see you next time.